See, this is what I am talking about. Franklin Saint, you better save Leon. You better save Leon. I mean, at least into next episode, because damn. Welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss the 5th episode of Snowfall, The Get Back. Now, before I get into all the bum ass things that happened in this episode, Leon almost getting shot, Manboy and Scully on good terms, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things real ass Franklin Saint. Subscribe to see more of me. Let's get into this review. Now, I really thought, watching the trailer for this review, that it would be, a given. Like, where's the suspense gonna be? Franklin's not gonna give up Leon, so where does that leave us? But surprisingly, this episode did a very good job of making us think otherwise, and I loved it. So to start off, we immediately get into the aftermath of Leon shooting the 5-year-old girl, Scully's daughter. And, him pretty much giving Big Man some money. Hey, get go. I love Big Man. He's like, I'm not leaving you. I'm not trying to leave your side. He's like, no. Him, burning that car because that's, considered evidence. And Leon pretty much being on the run. Like, he's plotting, like, I need to get out of town. And we see Leon's mom. Leon goes home. I'm like, damn, like, Leon got a mom. How long has it been since we've seen Leon's mom? Like, it was like, whoa. It's been a very long time since we've seen, any extensions of Leon's family. We only, so much focus on, Franklin and Sissy and his dynamic. We don't really see that. So to see him have a moment with his mom was like, oh, first I thought she was going to be cracked out, but she wasn't. But he goes, looking for money, and she's like, that's not there, and you can't stay here. Not only did I use that money, to subsidize our home and take care of your siblings, but you can't stay here. You have people on your back. I'm not going to endanger the children I have here, so you can have a place to lay your head and lay low. I love that. I love that. Like, it was a hard scene because, who is mom? No mother wants to deny her son, but, I would rather her have done that than, have the gang, pull up and shoot up her house, or, find out Leon's there and, do some ish. Like, no. We'd rather do that than, be on the news crying, saying, my baby ain't never hurt nobody and all of your children are gone. Kudos to mom. You can't stay here. You can't stay. After that, we get into the mom being at the hospital, grieving her daughter, and Scully also being there. Now, it was, we saw, in the trailer, but did anybody else know before this point that Scully and Manboy had a mutual thing happening because of Manboy? Drew, his name is Drew, y'all. His name is Drew. It's always, the cute names. Like, it's Drew. No, bitch, I'm Manboy. I didn't know that they had that, mutual thing happening as far as the system. Like, this whole time, like, y'all was really going to take each other out, and this is your whole brother and your baby's father? Okay. But, you're just sitting there and you're watching them grieve. You're watching Scully get, super upset. You're watching, Drew, Manboy dig, and, I just want to, make things right. Tell me. And she's, a little resistant because, we see some friction there in their relationship. But she does, after a while, let him know, it was Leon. And it's just like, wow, just had to be that. You had to shoot that one? Manboy who ain't liked you in 2-3 seasons? Damn, Leon. Now it's at the point that, we see man boy kind of link up and let Franklin know, like, this has happened. My niece is shot. Hand him over, and all will be forgiven. We'll do what we need to do, and we can handle business as usual. And it's at this point where things got a little rocky. Like, I was like, you couldn't tell me that, like, of course they they have their rift, but this is Leon. He's going to protect Leon. But you see a lot of doubt. Now there is a little thinking cap on, especially with Uncle Jerome. Like, this is what we could do if we protect him. We risk, both of them, being on our backs. We have to go to war with these people just trying to protect Leon. And you also see that Franklin is really indecisive. Cut to Auntie. Like, I don't know how I feel about Auntie being so ready to just flip on Leon. Like, damn. I know she's about the money and about the business, and she can, have her little ruthless ways, Claudia. She can have her moments, but it was like, it wasn't even a thought. Like, we don't got time for that. And then she was like, you see how my voice went up? Like, I was kind of hot. She was like, because Franklin, thank God, was like, low key, this is a little bit my fault. He was taking some responsibility for what was going on with Leon in this whole situation. It's like, no, he brought this on himself. He's been, trying to be his own man. Like, let him handle it. Let's give him away. I ain't like it. I just feel like she flipped a little too easy. Like, if you can flip like that, who's to... We also get into Gustavo, popping up to visit his family, and drunk as hell, trying to flirt. Like, Gustavo, you too big to be drunk falling on people. Get your big ass up. But you see that he is very invested, really emotional about, not being able to see his family, though he tries to, play rock hard and all of this and trying to get his flirt on a little bit. I was like, I see you, Gustavo. But she's called the police already, and they've showed up, and he's, all irate and drunk, and they, make the situation 10 times worse, even though you clearly see that this man is inebriated and he's inside the home. I didn't pull him over, but they proceed to, arrest Gustavo. And I thought for all of 5 seconds there was going to be something like they were going to run his name, and it was going to... Of course, it wasn't about Franklin and Leon, so storyline didn't really go anywhere. We also get into poor Irene, who just can't seem to catch a break. She's going into work with all her guap of paperwork, all her evidence, and she loses an ally immediately. The person over the network is being fired, and she's introduced to her new boss. Then we get into Franklin and his dad finding Leon in the homeless shelter. I was like, oh, because, Leon was just out in the cold. And I was like, damn, Mom, you couldn't go run and get him a jacket, a sweater. You had to put your terry cloth robe on him. And I just love Leon, as I wouldn't love it, Leon anyway. But this particular episode, you really get to the bone of who Leon is, and you're reminded automatically that this is still a kid. It's easy, with all the bravado and things and the shooting and the killing and the drugs that happen each and every season and each and every episode, and how they've built up this character. But just to see him here so shook, and to see his reaction when he initially shot the girl, Leon is still a kid. Leon looked like such a frightened boy, and he just looked like this entire episode that he wanted to be saved. And I was like, somebody save him. Save him. Now it's at this point that Leon is officially like in hiding, and Franklin puts him up in an apartment, and I'm like, like, not only did you find him, but you know exactly where he is if you need to get to him. I was like, all right, Franklin Saint, like, you shoot Leon, like, it was at that point where I was like, okay, the like main characteristic of Leon is that goddamn afro. I was just waiting a minute for this episode. Like, when Leon gonna get a haircut? Like, he got to shave that off. That's a dead giveaway. We'll get to what happened with that. It was beautiful. Now, after Teddy bails Gustavo out of jail, and they meet up with Franklin, who wants to know, if the cops know anything, because, if they don't really, know anything, if they don't have anything, I can, do my best to try to salvage this. Like, I really love this episode because you see the torn situation that he's in. Like, I really want to help Leon, but at the same time, it's like the repercussions of helping him are so much, and it's just like, is he gonna help Leon? But we also get into Scully, more of him, not wanting to leave his daughter's side. And I love all of the emotions that were put into this episode. Everything to humanize someone like a Leon or like a Scully or like a Man Boy. Because even with Man Boy, you see that he's human. All these men are human. With Man Boy, you see that he has all these things, and he loves a good stance, a good pose. But at the end of the day, you're somebody's brother. You're here, begging and pleading, for your sister, and you want that affection. You want that from your sister, just like any other person. And Scully is all these things, crazy and cockroaches, but they took his baby, and he's emotional and doesn't want to leave her body, just like the next person. Like, who wrote this, man? It's good. Now, after we leave Irene, who is ready and prepared to carry the whole station on her back, as soon as she gets some proof, we get into Leah, and immediately I knew this was a damn nightmare. Like, y'all seen how Jerome creeped in the room? I was all dressed in black. I was like, okay, this isn't real. But he, has a nightmare. Not only that, Franklin comes in and, shoots him at point blank range, but the baby mother is crying over his body, and then it turns into like this demonic evil laugh. I was like, damn, Leon, like, you see so much that this is haunting him. Like, he was so scared. I was like, somebody, where is Wanda to give him a crack hug? Like, somebody. And guess who shows up? Sissy showed up. Just when I wanted Sissy to get out of my face, she showed up just when we need her, the way that we needed her too. She showed up, didn't say much, and gave him that motherly love that he needed. Now, it was at this point where she sits down to braid his hair, and I'm like, oh, this means, that Franklin is going to save him. He knows that, he needs that hair braided to, kind of lay low, put that hair down. He sent Sissy for Leon. I was wrong. But we get into that scene of, Leon trying his best to hold it together, but he's in a vulnerable space, and it's just them two, and he really breaks down the way he needs to. And Sissy, consoles him, and I was like, oh, I was not expecting this from Sissy. Like, you all right, Sissy. But intertwined in that, we also see the mom, who's left, like, she's been in her daughter's blood for a very long time, and she showers, and she's holding her belongings, and she's grieving for her daughter. And it's just like, I love that shot and the way that it was set up between the both of them, because it was like, no matter who you are, everybody is somebody's baby. And hurt like this, it hurts. This type of loss hurts. What Leon did is hurting him, like, and as Jerome said, he's never going to be the same after this. Like, damn, Leon. Now, Teddy, is talking to Gustavo and tells him that this is a situation that he can't help Franklin out of. And it's like, oh damn, when Teddy, because Teddy is, Magnum PI. Teddy can fix it. He's the whole Olivia Pope, whatever, the fixer. Teddy can sprinkle some crack rock on something, a couple of guns and some money. It's all fixed, all forgotten. He said he can't do nothing about this. I was like, oh, damn it, Leon. But, Gustavo also takes that moment, to set down, some terms. Like, I need you to do this, and this, and investigate this. And I also want you to find Lucia. I was like, and in so many words, Teddy was like, I'm going to do that. And he's like, after that, we'll be good. All will be forgiven. Like, oh, you can do that, but you can't help Leon. Boy, if you find Lucia, Now, after that, we get into the conversation, very brief conversation, but very good conversation of Franklin wanting to know, why did you visit him? Why? And when Sissy said, because he's just like you, he's a frightened kid who made, well, she didn't say that, but it's like, he's a frightened kid who made a mistake. And he's hurting the same, he's trying to survive in this business just like you are. Why wouldn't I go visit him? I will be there for you. Yes, Sissy. Oh, Sissy can come back in my face. She can come back in my face. I like that. Thank you so much, Sissy. And when he, she goes, so what are you going to do? And he's like, I don't know. What you mean Man, they were playing with my emotions in this episode. Like, what you mean you don't know? You know what you gonna do. After that, we get into Man Boy and Scully, you know, meeting up, making amends, apologizing, plotting. And them, you know, just coming, you know, in on some common ground of this is happening to the both of us. This is my niece. This is your daughter. We could do more damage together than we ever could separate. I respect you. This is my sister. I love her. I was like, wow. I didn't expect none of this. You couldn't have told me that this is how this was going to go. Like, I love it. Like, the show always keeps you guessing. Like, this is how we're going to put these two together. And it's perfect because it's really believable that, you know, a lot of drugs and money, but this is family at the end of the day. Wow. We also get into Irene. Irene, persevere, Irene. She always moving forward. She goes to try to talk to two convicted felons and, you know, try to get them to flip. You know, if you do this, then I'll be taking down this person. And they kind of, you know, leave it, you know, open-ended. Like, are they gonna, you know, help her with the story? Are they gonna, you know, flip? And they don't look like no snitches, so I don't think so. Then we cut to Teddy, who tells Franklin, not only is this something I can help you with, but the longer he stays free and you guys are, you know, kind of attached to his name as associates, the more they're going to investigate you as well as the other people around you. So it's kind of best to turn him over and do what you need to do. Y'all see how upset Franklin was? Like, man. Cut to Auntie. Like, you know what? Like, I just feel like we need to lure him to another house and we could just take him out there. We could take you out there. We cut to immediately, like, couldn't wait. Scully getting tatted, you know, having his daughter, you know, tatted on him in his living room of all places. And him and Man Boy just sitting there chilling. And then we get more into the sister. I am loving this sister character. I hope that this is not, you know, short-lived of us hearing from her. But I love that she is just that chick. She is such a product of her environment and the times to, you know, really sit there and go like, y'all just sitting on your asses. They running around free. Get up, go do something. I want him dead and I want the fat nigga that was with him dead. Like, damn. She like, ugh. I'm loving her because you see that she is so invested in this lifestyle that she truly believes that, you know, an eye for an eye situation, only death can, you know, give her daughter true justice. And that's so realistic to how someone would be amongst men like this, amongst men like a Scully and a Man Boy. Like, what y'all doing? Get the guns. I'm loving her. I hope we see more of her. Now we get into the dumb decision making of this episode. I was like, Leon, you've been real smart all these episodes. Don't try to get all Leon, you know, scared, but that's, you know, plays into him really being a kid. These are like 20-year-old kid. Like, this is a kid. Makes kid choices. After Franklin, you know, goes, don't call anybody, don't tell anybody, don't leave this spot, though we didn't know where that was going. Leon sees himself on the news at this point. You know, Sissy has seen him on the news. Sissy looks so emotional. I was like, yes, Sissy, acting. You better do it, Sissy. His mom, you know, snapping past the peas like we used to do, snapping them peas, sees him on the news. And he sees himself like, oh, this is not just, you know, an in-house hood-ass word-of-mouth situation anymore. I am on the news. They are looking for me. Not just Man Boy, not just Scully. The police are looking for me. I need to get out of here. You see how frantic Franklin was when he went to that apartment and he didn't see him there? I was like, what he was coming to do at the apartment? What you coming to do at the apartment, Franklin? Huh? What you about to do? Shoot him? Look at my eye. But we get into, you know, not so smart decisions because we're a kid and we're scared and we're trying to run. He, you know, results to the only thing he can. And I'm not going to say not smart decisions because he tried to make the smart decision before and get that money that was buried in the backyard of his mom's house. So he wouldn't have to resort to going to such a familiar place as those projects he lives in. But had to do what we had to do. And of course, who was waiting? Scully with a shotgun. I was like, oh, run, Leon, run. I had a whole Ricky moment on my bed. Because I was like, run, Leon. But in the midst of running, who the fuck pulls up? It was Franklin, y'all. It was Franklin and Jerome. I said Jerome in the house. I said Jerome in the house. Franklin and Jerome, get your stupid ass in the car. Yes. That is the Franklin saint that we know. That is the saint in the Franklin saint. Like, yes. Don't, you just can't. It wouldn't have been in Franklin's character, though he is ever changing. It wouldn't have been truly in his character to just give Leon up. And I'm so glad he didn't. I'm so glad. Now, we end this episode off with Irene. Yet again, she keeps, persevering. And I think, even though that the paper is willing, to back her and, financially give her everything she needs to investigate, the owner still doesn't feel like, she has everything she needs to really push that case through. And he says, for lack of a better word, like, get someone who is scorned, who has, something against them, somebody who wants to talk, to open that gate. And we're going to talk about who I think that's going to be. But we also end with Franklin and Manboy. Don't you love their little meetups? Like, it be so tense. Like, I just be waiting, like, who gonna pull out a gun? But nobody ever pulls out a gun. But just Franklin standing there, like, first of all, I'm gonna need Franklin to get some more security. Like, is it just me, or do you guys ever I just never just feel like Franklin is, like, super secure for the business that he's in and the move that he's making, especially with this. Like, are there a couple of snipers on the roof, or, like, get some more security. A little bit more. You can't have Auntie still in the back holding her Gucci, Jerome over there in his fur coat. We all know Jerome ain't really about that life. I'm sure he would go to back to protect Franklin, but I just don't feel like he a whole merc. Like, Scully and Manboy, merc. Hell, even Big Man, merc. I don't get merc off of them, But they're standing there, and he lets it be known, like, I'm willing to go to bat for Leon. Not only am I not giving him up, but I do understand the repercussions of not giving him up, and you can't tell me otherwise. And Manboy, takes that moment to say, like, you really want to do this? Like, I'm trying to give you every inch of me to change your mind. Just give him up, and we won't even have to do this. If you do this and you're not giving him up, not only does that pin me and Scully against you and Leon, but you no longer have any space to operate and sell your product. Who's going to sell it? I'm on, east side. He's on the west side. Leon's no longer in the projects. And this is, where we open that door to him going to Arkansas. But it's just really intense to, think about them looming and, waiting to pounce on him and Leon like they're freaking prey. Like, get some more security. Well, you guys, that was, my review on the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Getting into next episode that looks even better. Like, we get into, the aftermath. Not only do we see, the family moving more towards Arkansas, we see Jerome again. Like, Jerome is not here for it. I'm waiting to see what happens with the storyline with Jerome, because this ain't it. Jerome just wants to sell speakers. But we also get into, the police, hounding Franklin, like, a 5-year-old girl, that same police officer, a 5-year-old girl has been murdered. Like, somebody's going to pay, they're slapping him on the car. I was like, they really finna take it for Leon. Like, and then we get into a scene where he's saying, just, I want you to give yourself up. And Leon, pounces up and goes, nigga, this is your fault. I'm like, oh, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go that route, right? Because, you have that little storyline with Irene. And, if you could really find somebody who, feels, scorned and jaded. And, are we about to go that route? Y'all ain't finna make my Leon no snitch, right? Don't do that. But who's she going to find? Don't do that. But you guys, that was my review of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you come back for episode 7. Is that 6 or 7? I don't know. I can't count. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.